Hi guys, it is cloudy but warm and windy Monday morning, January 28th, 2013. I just finished my truncated version of my economic meltdown roundup from the mainstream media, but the main economic, finance, whatever story that I stumbled upon was not on the mainstream media. Gee, imagine that, but was right here on YouTube. It was this week's interview by my Humpty Dumpty tribe hero, Chris Martenson. Chris Martenson, I've mentioned him on many other rants. I highly advise you to subscribe to his YouTube channel. Chris Martenson is no dumb hippie on a rock. He knows what he's talking about. Check him out. But this week his interview was a half-hour interview with a fellow named James Turk, and he's a precious metals guy, an expert in precious metals. I might have mentioned James Turk. He's a good guy, and as a physical silver investor myself, I really appreciated this interview. I strongly advise you to spend, I think it's 34 minutes of your time listening to this man, because he can explain it a hell of a lot better than me why you need to be investing in precious metals, be it silver or gold. Now, unfortunately, the vast majority of this interview, he's talking about gold. Various aspects of the gold market, but you can pretty well lump silver into the same thing. He says at the end, that the main difference between silver and gold, that silver is a little more volatile. But guys, face it, how many, you have whatever it is for an ounce of gold just sitting around to go buy 1 ounce of gold. Silver's $30 today, where it's been all year. It is an unbelievable buying opportunity for silver. But anyway, I'm not gonna, I'm a dumb hippie on a rock. I have just enough brains to understand that physical silver or physical gold, if you can afford it, is better be where you're putting your money. And this guy, James Turk. So anyway, what I'm just going to read you is this description of the video, this very in-depth description, and you can decide whether you want to. This is just like the highlights of the interview, and if you have any interest in saving your ass as this economy in this country and on this planet collapses, you should just shut me up and go on the link. I'll put it right here and listen to the guy yourself. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read the summation here. Okay, this is a quote from him. My guess is that 2013 and 2014 are going to be big up years for the precious metals, but we still have to contend with the central planners and the various government policies which have been actively trying to keep the gold and silver prices from reaching fair value. These central planners are losing the war. They may win an occasional battle or two, but they're losing the war, and eventually gold and silver are going to go higher. Close quote. So predicts James Turk, founder and chairman of goldmoney.com. Okay, from James Turk's perspective, gold is not an investment. This is one thing that is explained in here, that gold is not an investment. Even I don't understand this totally. It is a sterile asset. meaning it does not generate income as you hold it. What it is money. Gold and silver's function is to store wealth. It is another form of money, a one that this dumb hippie on a rock understands is a little bit safer form of money than these Bernanke Obama bucks. And understand, he talks about in here the difference between physical and paper precious metals. This paper gold and paper silver, these bullshit IOUs. They're as ridiculous as the fiat money we're trying to protect ourselves from. We're talking physical gold, physical silver that have virtually no relation. If you're one of these silver or gold investors investing in these paper schemes, dude, pull your head out of your ass. Okay. But money-like investments can be overvalued or undervalued. And what we're witnessing on the world stage today is a gross mispricing of money as central banks engage in depreciation of their fiat currencies via inflation, otherwise known as money printing. The process causes a transfer of wealth from those holding overvalued paper money to those who hold undervalued money, meaning precious metals, meaning physical precious metals, which is undervalued money. That is what's been going on for the past decade, as the price of gold has steadily marched upwards versus fiat read paper currencies. But this process is not efficient. Mass awareness of this wealth, that meaning more and more people are figuring this out. I figured it out 4 years ago, and I'm damn glad I did. And I beg of you, as Lindsey Williams would say, this isn't rocket science. This dumb hippie on a rock can understand this, guys. Mass awareness of this wealth transfer right now is low. But it's building. So confidence in paper currencies is still high, supporting their perceived values, meaning misperceived values. Anyone who thinks that their money sitting in a bunch of damn paper that ain't worth the paper, is not even printed on, is safer than gold and silver. Good God. Market intervention. Now listen to this sentence. Now this is my one complaint. I have had other rants about this. They spend a couple of minutes. I wish they had spent a lot more time on this. But this is talked about in here. That market intervention by central banks and other parties conspires. This is no conspiracy theory. This is an open and shut conspiracy fact by anyone with a brain who wants to spend a few minutes understanding how these central banks, these too big to fail banks, led by those evil bastards at J.P. Morgan, number one of these evil banks are leading this charge, how they're rigging the market. They are conspiring to keep the price of physical precious metals artificially low so they can prop up this horse shit, these printing these Obama bucks. Okay, market intervention by central banks and other parties conspires to keep the prices of precious metals artificially low and suspect. This maintains an arbitrage for individuals to buy gold and silver at a discount to true value, meaning today. Good God, if I had $100,000, I would be running out and buying all the silver I could lay my dumb hippie little hands on. Physical silver is an unbelievable buying opportunity out there, which James Turk believes will be slowly realized in full over the next several years as the bull market in precious metals approaches its third and final phase. A factor in this rise will be the increasing fragmentation of coordination among the central banks. Increasingly, central banks outside the influence of the U.S. Federal Reserve, you know, Ben Bernanke is the king of these, but more and more of these central bankers outside of the U.S. Federal Reserve are, you know, just throwing in the towel, are treating the precious metals as true money and becoming net buyers of bullion for their reserves. So more and more of these central banksters outside of the U.S. are you know, in China and Europe are hoarding, are buying. They are net buyers of gold bullion. Do they know something that you don't know? Ultimately, Turk predicts the price of gold will move to somewhere between $8,000 to $10,000 an ounce, and that we'll see even higher price appreciation in silver. So all you trolls can write in and laugh at Ham on Littletail about investing and not investing. We need to stop using that word. I am not a silver investor. I am just someone with a brain who understands where this economy is going, where this paper fiat money horseshit is headed. And the highest and best way to save your ass from the fallout of it is to buy physical silver. And anyway, enough of this rant. Anybody who wants to understand this can shut me up and go listen to Chris Martenson and James Turk. Neither one of who are long-haired, ranting hippies on a rock. They know what they're talking about, and I understand what they're talking about, which is why every penny that I ever do get my hands on is going into buying more physical silver. Oh well, enough of this rant. You've heard it before and you will hear it again. Bye guys.